Hey guys, I'm HP and this is Dr. Pink, and today's topic is creative stadium rock guitar. Play it loud, Muta. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button. Also join the HPCrazy Guitar Academy with a free member account or premium member account. There you can also download the backing track which I created extra for this tutorial. So, what are we talking about today? Creative ways of playing a simple rock guitar progression and being creative in that and to create big emotions. I'll show you. And so on. So as I said, the tutorial is about how to be creative with a really simple rock guitar progression. Basically the chords are always simple, you know, especially on stadium rock stuff, you know. So let's first check the chords and the simple way, and then I'm going to show ways how you can be really creative and you're going to sound great. And in this case the backing track has no guitar in there, so all is happening here, what you hear. Let's get started. Alright guys, so the track is in G minor and we have the following chords or following chord progression. We have 4 bars of G, so we play G5 or G power chord. Here, 3rd fret, 5, 5. That's a regular standard power chord for G. Then it goes up to B flat, power chord, to C power chord, back to G. Then once again, and then goes to E flat and to F. I quickly play the whole progression just using these simple chords, and then we see what do we make out of this, okay? So, we're starting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. E flat. Again. And that's the whole thing. I see the guitar is a little bit loud. Let me put it the volume a little bit more down. Okay, so now what we're gonna do now, we have really a lot of possibilities, and I want to show you how you build up your guitar work in such a situation and not just playing, you know, I mean you could play the really regular thing like this, but that sounds like an exercise. That's not cool. We have several techniques which we're going to put into one and build up the whole thing, and that's going to sound awesome, okay? First of all, the G, nobody plays the G like that. G is played always like this. We have the third here. We're on the 3rd fret here, A string is damped, and we play the open D and open G string. And as an option, we play G5 like this. So there's audio variation. We have this one, and then we put the pinky in the 3rd fret. We have 2 types of G5. And since we have the G going on for such a long time, or we play the first row, we play like this, second row like this. And this gives a little more tension in the whole thing, okay? Then on the B flat, when we change chords, it's a very common technique that is on the 4 end. 1, 2, 3, 4, chaka. You make 2 dead notes on the 4 end, 60 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. That's a really common technique, and this makes the sound really better. You can first do the really simple thing, and in the second row you do the more complex thing, okay? Now on the E flat, that's a little bit cheap, just playing this like this, but you can play the superpower chords. I really love those. You make bar, here we are in the 6th fret, 8/8 bar here, but to make it like with a 7-string guitar or a dropped tuning, you just add the E string as well, and you're playing 4 notes now. Same on the F. See the effect which we have? Even if you play the F down here, you don't have the same effect as here. This sounds way more than a dropped tuning than the other one. So we're building up just with these little things. Starting on simple. Variation. See, already sounds better. You can also make it sound more busy when you go from by the end of when it changes the chords, you give more attention here. But at the end you do those dead notes. In the between you can just shred around as you like. Okay, so let's do this as a first row. Okay, now a little more tricks. What you can do is the anticipations. That's a very common technique to make things, even the chords are really simple, to make them pull more and be more groovy. And that means you change the chord not on 1, like 1, 2, 3, 4. You change on 4 end. I would do this since we are always try to build up tension from low to high. We do this at the end of the progression, probably here on the E flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. You change to the F5 on the 4 end, and then it's gonna sound really cool. Okay. There's also something else you need to know when you play the chords. It's really good that you really go really strongly through the strings. Like, you know, when you even the chord is simple to grab, try to damp the strings which are not needed very good. And then you just go through the strings like you attack them hard, and this gives us really the sound with the typical Les Paul sound is like that. See? Also here, you really attack and pay attention that you have the proper damping here as well, that you really can go through the string. Here it's not needed. Okay, So that was the first row. In the second one, we probably want to make a little riff, something like this. Since we have 4 bars of G, it's not enough to lay it down, you know. I mean, for some spots in the song it's cool, but we want to have more. So we do something like this. This is a little riff with small power chords. Here, this is a G5 here in the 5th fret. And then we go in the 3rd fret. 3rd fret. And try to make it sound as smooth as possible, and also add vibrato by the end. Also here a slight little bending. See? And for the vibrato you just put your fingers up and then poo. And now since we have motion here, we also need motion on the B flat. So we make something like this. And now, before we play the B flat like this, now we switch to this position. Why? So we're using the ring and pinky. Why? Because we can add vibrato. It's not cooler without vibrato. And see? Okay, let's do this. I'll show you. And now, since we're playing this thing twice, instead of playing it two times the same time, you again do the anticipation trick. So you move to the next chord on 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2. And this way you push the groove even more, okay? But now since we're pushing, we need to go to a highlight, then we go to... Now we go to playing 8 notes just with palm muted, and we make, and we play the chord on 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. See, 1, and this way you make the palm mute technique and move the hand like that. And now we also move up on 4 and to keep the tension high. And then we go back to... So, let's do the whole thing. You're gonna see it's gonna sound awesome. But the track is not starting, why not? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're soon finished. Now we pulled up the tension up, but now we have to also go back down again. So after this highlight, we go a little bit down. We just play. So palm mute technique, and even it seems simple playing those 8 notes. They have to be really precise, as a razor sharp, you know. Like that, 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 that. If you're not really precise, it won't groove. And again, you make this trick 1 and 2. A 1 and 2, and you can release the damping. Or you just do the palm muting and do this figure later. Let's do that. Now there's a trick how to change the position. You make one on the 4 end. You make a kick in the open strings, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Here you can make the anticipation again on 4 end. Again, and you release the palm muted on the 4 end. And then you go back. So, that was a lot of information. Now I'm going to play the whole thing for you. That is here. Now I'm going to switch on a delay. And the delay is set on the quarter beat of the note. When you work with delays, you have to be extremely precise, otherwise it doubles up your unprecise timing. So only do that if you're really precise. Hopefully I'm precise now. But then this will really widen up your sound with this stadium rock thing, okay? So I'm going to try to play all things which I show now in one row. 1, 2, 3. Yo guys, that was an example how to do a creative stadium rock guitar. It puts together all basic techniques, which you should know, otherwise you cannot do that. I mean, the basic techniques are really simple. It's just, play power chords, play the palm muted with chords in between, and also know several types of power chords. And then you can start to get really creative. And one little advice I want to give you at the end: when you play distorted guitar, try to listen to the frequencies. See how the overtones are coming? Also try to control those, by position to the amp or with the loudness, or also with slight vibrato. See? And this is also a very important part of it, to sound cool. Probably. Yeah. Good. One more to say: if you want to download this backing track, I mean, this what I showed works for you can create your own backing track. Is a basic technique, and just how to explore and expand your techniques of rock guitar. But if you want to work with this backing track and the tabs I'm providing for you, they're available in the HPCrazy Guitar Academy. Please join there with a premium member account, or also with a free member account if you want to join the little guitar community there of the HPCrazy Guitar Academy. Yo, if you love my channel, please share it to your friends. Please subscribe. Please also write me a review on Google Maps, HPCrazy Guitar Academy. And that was all my speech now. Me and Dr. Pink are saying...